Welcome to Dark Horizon Creations. This time we're taking a look at the G.I. Joe Classified series, Steel Corps Commander and Twilight Guard. Now if you hadn't already, please follow, like, and subscribe to my social media accounts on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Don't forget to hit that bell icon so you get a notification of when I post new content. Alright, so tonight got a really interesting review. This is the G.I. Joe Classified series, Steel Corps Commander versus Twilight Guard. So this is a really unique set in that the Steel Corps Commander is anything but tactical. Both his combat pants and shirt are purple with green stretch panels, and he has a gold helmet with purple accents. His weapons also include purple and gold accents, so I'm not really sure what's going on there. So taking a look at the packaging, you've got your enclosed window display box, G.I. Joe Classified series banner down at the bottom, G.I. Joe and Cobra logos over on the lower left. On this side panel you have some grayscale artwork of the figures as well as all of their skill symbols. On this side panel you have that same artwork in full color. On the back of the packaging, you can see both action figures displayed in an action sequence. Their skill symbols are below them. Over to the right, you've got a couple inset shots that show some of the details of their shoulder armor. All right, very briefly, this is what you're going to find inside the packaging. Over on the left, you can see the insert that has both the G.I. Joe and Cobra logo on opposing fields. On the right, you have the pop-out tray that has the action figures and all of their accessories. And there is a lot of stuff in this box. All right, so here we have the G.I. Joe Steel Corps Commander and Cobra Twilight Guard outside of the packaging. And we are going to take a look at both of these individually. I'm going to start things off with the Twilight Guard. So here we have the Cobra Twilight Guard. My initial impression is this. This is a really awesome looking action figure. I like the helmet, the uniform, chest rig, the belt, drop thigh holster, the cape. I think all of it come together to make a really nice looking figure. So let's bring him in close so you guys can see the attention to detail on the helmet. You see his chest rig, Cobra emblem there on his chest armor, his belt, drop thigh holster. This side you can see on his left shoulder quadrant it has the Twilight Guard symbol on it, which is really weird. It's got 4 opposing crescent moons, and in the center is a triangle with an all-seeing eye. He does have a shoulder quadrant on his right shoulder there. See, he has gauntlet armor on his forearms. He's got hard knuckle gloves on that seem to have some kind of armor on them. There's his belt and his boots. As far as articulation, head and neck are on a ball joint. Forward and lateral movement of the shoulder. Butterfly joint with full range of motion there. Biceps on a ball joint. Ball joint for the upper arm, and these will slide off, just so you guys know. Double jointed elbow, wrist rotation, wrist pivot. His torso is on a ball joint and a hinge. Forward and lateral movement of thigh, drop down thigh joint. Double jointed knees. Lower leg rotation, you guys can see that there. Foot will pivot and roll. Full range of motion on this guy. Just a really cool looking figure, something different. And I think that's the appeal of that character. Next, we're going to be taking a look at the Steel Corps Commander. So let's bring him in close so you can see the attention to detail. You can see his helmet, his vest, and this is the same vest that you'll find with other Steel Corps figures. And if I'm not mistaken, at least the base vest is almost identical to the one that Airborne has, as well as the 60th anniversary halo jumper. They just have a thick collar on theirs, but it's very similar to this. You can see the steel core symbol there on his shoulder pauldron. He's got a holster back here, left-handed holster. I don't like that at all. You know, you could turn around like this, but that just looks goofy. There's a right pauldron there. He's got gauntlet armor on his forearms, and this doesn't look that bad. He's got a drop thigh holster. And over here, he's got an IFAK, some kind of larger pouch behind it. As far as articulation, head and neck are on independent ball joint, full range of motion. Forward and lateral movement at the shoulder, and it's impeded by the gauntlet armor. Independent bicep joint there, upper arm rotation, double jointed elbow, wrist rotation, and wrist pivot. And you can see the butterfly joint is going to be impeded by the vest. He has the same range of motion as Twilight guard, ball joint at the base of the torso as well as a hinge, the upper part. Forward and lateral movement to thigh, drop down thigh joint. You got thigh rotation there. Double jointed knee, lower leg rotation, foot will pivot and roll. It's still a really cool figure. I'm beginning to really like how this action figure looks. All right, so let's talk about accessories. Now, before I begin, I do want to make note of something. Because we have two action figures with a lot of accessories, I am not going to go through each of the action figures individually and kit them up. Instead, I'm just going to review their weapons out in front so that you can see what is included. I also want to make note of the fact there are some blast effects that are included. I am not going to review those. So let's start on the left with the Steel Core Commander. He does include a belt-fed M60 machine gun, otherwise known as the Pig. It's got these purple bipods on it. There's a lot of warping on this. It's got a detachable box magazine, and you can see it's got this long belt that you can also use with it. It's a really great looking gun, a lot of detail in it, but you can see how severe the warping is. I don't know if I'm going to be able to fix this or not. I hope I am, but I'm not holding my breath. And this is my primary complaint with the Classified series. This has been problematic from day one with the very first action figure, are these weapons that are molded out of soft plastic. And it's sad to say that Hasbro still refuses to address this, which forces collectors to go out to third-party vendors like Valaverse or vendors on eBay or Etsy and buy 3D printed weapons that don't have this issue. He also includes this assault rifle with a removable can on it. There's a lot of warping, even on the scope on this has warping. And this is the same rifle that is included with the 60th anniversary Halo jumper. The other Steel Core figures also include this rifle. And if you want to know what rifle it's based off of, it's based off of Bren assault rifle, CZ Bren. Here's another version of the rifle with a skeletonized stock, and it has the grenade launcher on it, removable magazine. Warping isn't as bad on it. The stock is warped. The muzzle device is warped. Same rifle without a stock. Vertical grip, laser designator, all that's warped. Muzzle's warped on it. You got a version of the M16 with a minimalist skeletonized stock. This is the only accessory in here that isn't warped. And I really like these rifles because they have a short stock, and that's easy to display with these action figures. It's very simple to get them in a realistic shooting position with this particular rifle. I wish that they offered weapon packs with these rifles made from ABS, injection molded plastic, for collectors, but they don't. He also includes a sidearm. It has a gold extended slide on it. It's got slide serrations, ports on it. See, it's got an extended magazine, very aggressive angle on the pistol grip there. And he also includes a fixed blade combat knife. For the Twilight Guard, he does include this goofy backpack, which is reused from, I believe it was Gung Ho. They actually had this backpack. He includes a Halo shotgun. That's essentially what it is. Halo grenade launcher. Some kind of weird assault rifle in a bullpup configuration. It's got some warping on it. It does include his officer's cutlass. See, the blade on it is pretty much straight. Fixed blade combat knife, really warped. And his sidearm, it's also warped. So those are all the accessories. Overall, it's a really nice set. I have a lot of issues with it. First and foremost, warped accessories. That should not continue to be an issue that plagues this line. The other issue I have is with the Steel Corps Commander, his uniform being purple, the belt with the holster on the back of it that is essentially useless. Those are things that detract from the accuracy and realism of the figure being a modern military soldier. The only issue I have with the Twilight Guard is that he has a left-handed drop thigh holster instead of a right-handed holster. Beyond that, I think it's a really nice looking figure. It's something different. If you're a collector or fan, the set's definitely worth picking up. So there you have the G.I. Joe Classified Series Steel Corps Commander and Twilight Guard by Hasbro.